0 of 4 plus h, the quantity squared, minus 16, all divided by h. Did I just want to open it?
Yes, please.
Okay, so we've got this limit. Our goal is to calculate this limit algebraically. And so whenever I want to calculate a limit algebraically, the first thing I want to check is, well, what happens if I actually plug in this value for h? And so I've got this thought bubble over here. And when I plug in h, I've got 4 plus 0 squared minus 16. So my numerator is going to look like a 0. And when I plug in 0 for h in the denominator, I get a 0. So my thought bubble is telling me, well, there's probably some sort of a hole in the graph, or certainly at least I can do some sort of factoring. So when I look at this, the denominator, there's nothing to factor there, I just have an h. And my numerator, as it's written right now, I can't really pull an h out, which would be really nice because then I could just cancel it with the bottom. All right, so then I step back and say, okay, well, what else can I do with this numerator? And so what I see is that I've got a 4 plus h quantity squared, and maybe if I expand this out and see if things simplify, things might work out better for me. Okay, so I still have this limit as h goes to 0. And by the way, as you're working these problems, you might be asking, do I need to carry this limit symbol along the whole way? And the answer is, yes, you need to carry this limit symbol until the moment when you plug in 0 for h at the end. Okay, so if I expand out this numerator, while doing a little side work over here, 4 plus h squared is 4 plus h times 4 plus h. So we've got 16 plus 4h plus 4 more h's plus an h squared. And so that simplifies to 16 plus 4h plus h squared. Now, I'll put that up in my numerator up here, 16 plus 8h plus h squared minus 16 all over h. All right. Are there any questions about what I've written so far? Okay. At this point, this is really nice because what I see now is, now that everything is expanded out, there's no more multiplication going on, I can look at canceling some terms, and I can definitely cancel the 16 and the minus 16. And that leaves us with the limit as h goes to 0 of 8h plus h squared over h. And now I'm really happy, because at this point, all I have left in my numerator are things that involve h's, so I can factor out an h. I've got the limit as h goes to 0 of h times 8 plus h all over h. And this is where I can cancel. And I'm left with the limit as h goes to 0 of 8 plus h. Okay, I'm not done with the problem yet, but it's a good time for me to pause and pat myself on the back. Because what I've done is that I have taken my numerator, I've expanded so that I could simplify. And what that has allowed me to do is allowed me to factor out a term that would cancel what was causing the 0 in the denominator. And so once I get to a point where I just have a polynomial term left, something that does not involve a denominator at all, then I can go ahead and allow h to go all the way to 0. Okay. So, and this is cheesy, but we can take it to the limit. One more time. And we get 8. You're not allowed to post that one on